Alan Gray, telephone for 101. Alan Gray.
Yes, can I help you?
Oh, g'day, is that you, Alan?
Oh yeah, g'day John.
How are you, mate?
Wondering, not bad, thanks. I was wondering when I was going to hear from you.
Yeah, oh, look, I've been having a bit of trouble getting range, to be honest. We're just a kilometre or so out of Quilpie, and I've got a bit of range here for some strange reason, so...
I thought I'd better ring in, see how you're getting along.
Yeah, okay, well we've pulled the motor down, haven't cleaned it up thoroughly yet, but had a good look at it. And I watched the video of it last time with it blowing smoke all over the place, and we're lucky we found a reason for it. The ring in number 2 piston, the compression ring was gone, and that was causing it to blow oil everywhere.
So did the ring actually did it break, or did it just sort of lose tension?
No, it was broken in about 6 pieces, but it had been flapping around for quite some time pumping oil, and it's worn to probably 1/2 mil thick. It's one of the most worn top rings I've ever seen, and it's damaged the piston. But as you know, sometimes they go up beside the piston and wreck the cylinder, but there's been no damage like that at all, thankfully.
Well, that's really lucky.
It did, Struth, probably 1400 k's after it started running on 3 cylinders.
Yeah,
Get home?
it looks a bit like that. The rings, John, on the other pistons, the top rings are very badly worn side on, which to me indicates a lot of dirt in the motor in the early stages. The rings, if they've got dirt in them, generally a bit matted on the outside, but these are now shiny, which makes me think that recently the maintenance has been better than what it was earlier.
You know, that's amazing, Al, because I've always thought most of the damage happened to this motor when I first fitted it about 10, 11 years ago, because I did a trip across the Simpson with a busted air tube. So it sucked 500 k's worth of sand. Pretty neat sand too in places. There wasn't a lot of air in it. So yeah, I think you've read that beautifully. Ever since I've had it, it's been well serviced and everything. But prior to that, it was a dump truck engine, so it probably just copped a caning.
The top surface of the engine block needs surfacing because the head gasket's been leaking, not seriously, but leaking. So when we put sleeves, pistons and rings in it, we'll surface the block beforehand to make a better seal up top there.
So we're going to re-sleeve it to original piston size?
Back to standard. Oh yeah, new pistons as well. There's been some quite damage because the rings are worn side on. It's interesting to note that with the BT motor, with a turbo, that they have much heavier gudgeons in them, so people who fit turbos aftermarket, they just need to watch that because the gudgeons do break on them sometimes, but on yours they're massive.
It's totally different to a 3B, isn't it, in every sense?
Oh, much more improved motor. The block is going to come up really good when we get it back together.
Oh, great. And we're going to get it balanced as planned?
Yeah, I think probably balancing will add 40% of 40% life to the motor from what I've seen in my racing experience. Balancing is a brilliant idea.
So when you say 40%, you mean 40% to the life?
Life of the motor. Yeah.
Unreal. Yeah. No, that's terrific.
The cylinder head, it's a direct injection engine, of course. Cylinder head, we'll have a look at the valves, but the head itself looks good, and of course it'll be lightly surfaced when we put it back.
You know, a lot of people get scared about grey Toyota engines, but in actual fact, I mean, this is a grey motor, and yet...
You know, you've got everything for it. It's fantastic.
Well, we had a look at the bearings on it, the big end bearings and main bearings, and that indicates to me that the oil has been changed and filtered correctly. The filters and oil are very important on a diesel. If you can keep the air clean and oil clean, the motors will last a lot longer. The injectors will need to be replaced. Just a rough calculation, in 100,000 kilometres the injectors pulse roughly 5 million times, so at 100,000 they've got to be worn, so we'll replace those. It's direct injection. The injector pump, that needs to be checked to make sure that the volume is equal and that the timing's right.
Oh, look, that's terrific. This thing's going to hum.
It'll get it back, isn't it?
It'll go forever, buddy. One other thing I just happened to mention, I picked the clutch up and I listened to your DVD, and there's only you and I think alike about the way that you should treat the gearbox. I mean, people really do damage gearboxes by relying on synchro mesh. The way you explained it very carefully, just feed those gears in and the clutch shows up as being almost brand new. on your vehicle. The cushion springs are good, the torsion springs are good, the linings are good, and the whole thing looks like it's been cared for. You know, there's no hot spots on the flywheel. And that pays back to what you said on that DVD. It really makes sense that the clutches should never really wear out when they're treated nicely.
You know, I mean, coming from you, Al, that's a complete compliment, mate. I'm so pleased to hear that.
Good on you, mate. Well, I'll give you...
Ring in a week or so, probably be back in range by then.
Yeah, all right, buddy. Look after yourself. Take care.
Thanks very much, Al.
And look, mate, that's fantastic. It's good to know Milo's in good hands, mate. That's awesome.
Good to talk to you.
Thanks, Al.
Okay, bye.